Okay, welcome everyone to View Magazine. My name is Yamar McCartney Ross, and today we are here with Dr. Cass and Jay. Could you all go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Let's see. So I am actually Cassandra is my government name. So Cassandra
No,
Vaughn.
but go ahead. Dr. CaSay. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
And that is my wonderful, significant other
Give
business
him that.
partner, love of my life,
Give
pain,
him that.
my son that is talking. So I've been in television and radio for almost 30 years.
Okay.
Done everything from producing, brand management, strategic marketing, been a publicist, produced some of the hottest shows out there, produced some of the hottest brands out there. And now with this amazing man, I have ventured about 7 years ago we've built the franchise entertainment group. James Claxton, the floor is yours.
So, what's going on? Jay Claxton, they call me the franchise DJ personality, um, promoter, entrepreneur, philanthropist. Um, it's just a bunch of different hats. It's a bunch of different hats, and we have to do that because we don't work for anybody else. And that's the thing about being your own boss. There's nobody that's going to hold you accountable, you know, but us. We kind of, we hold each other accountable, but we're accountable already. So that makes it that makes it easy. I mean, radio station working on a new streaming platform so that we can have podcasts like such as yourself. Like a real place for us to have a home. So we're definitely trying to push forward, push the culture forward, and take care of other people because we got to give back. What I'm saying? That's our blessings. And in the meantime, working to build financial wealth so we can make sure our family and loved ones are good in the process.
Definitely, such a power couple, honestly. And I do want to ask about your franchise before I get into that. Just because you said a little bit about having self accountability and things, I know you guys both have a strong road on your own, and you've come together to create such a strong, powerful avenue for so many different communities. Could you explain or just tell us like how you guys met and how you guys kind of got to where you are today?
Well, to be actually honest, I needed some help. DJ was radio. Just a lot of years.
Mhm.
Double-digit years, and I got to a position where I felt like I was at the ceiling. I couldn't get past. I just couldn't. I wasn't breaking through, and I
Mhm.
needed some help. So, I was aware of her track record. I was aware of the relationships that she had, and I needed some help. So I came and, really, hey, I need some help. Can you help me? She, no, 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 I can't help you. No, 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 I can't help you. No, no, no. And, eventually she said, yeah. And that's how we started. We already, we already knew each other through mutual friends. A bunch of people that she was close to was actually like my PD and my program directors, and they actually hired me at at some of the stations that I was at. So it kind of it did make sense, even though she didn't want to work with me originally.
Mhm.
She didn't want to work with me originally.
Okay, okay. Well, that sounds good. I mean, I'm glad you guys were able to like come together now and you guys have such a strong, powerful franchise. And that's what I want to ask next. Like, could you explain to us about your podcast and your book? Just explain like what audience you target and the difference between each portion of it.
You got it.
So I'm going to talk about the book if you talk about the podcast for you.
All right. So podcast, loving business on lock. Just because it's habit everything. It's
Hmm.
love. We take care of business, and the whole goal is to have it on lock or for us and our people and our family and bring it together and have it on lock, really to set the narrative. And a lot of times people have experiences, but don't share those experiences with people, and like people such as yourself.
Mhm.
What is the use of us going through some things if we can't give you the full? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we got to better give you the full. Like if you watch the podcast, um, it's funny. Just even last night we had an episode, and Dr. V, powerful young lady. I felt like we gave her some food. She definitely gave us some food. And if you watch the podcast, there's something that's going to resonate with you. Period. And in order for it to work, you have to be transparent. And I never had a problem with being transparent. It was almost to the point sometimes, like in the beginning, she was like, "Why do you tell everybody everything?" You
Right.
know, but if I tell you, hopefully it helps you. And if you try to use it against me, I've already told the story, so it's not like there's a secret. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
can't even use it because I already told you already. I told you my ups and downs, my faults, and very transparent. I mean, it's
Mhm.
that's part of the going through the process to pass that knowledge on, and to learn from the things we went through, and actually to stop you from making some of the mistakes that we made already.
Mhm. That
So
was
that's the podcast, Love Business on Lock in itself. It was her brainchild, and it was brought together just to do the things that we spoke about.
okay.
So with the book is called Love Business Unlock the Unmuted Love. And the reason for the title is because we started off as business, and then, the love came later, right? So the
Mhm.
relationship came later. And the reason why it's called Love Business Unlock, because one, that's our brand, but the unmuted love part of it was because it was the freedom that now we could be in a relationship publicly, and it was the freedom of not only could we be in one, but we were ready,
Mhm.
to publicly say, I'm with you and you're with me, and this is what it is. So when you read the book, which is not, it's not a intense read, and it's not a long read, but when you read it, what you get from the book actually is the thought process of Jay, right? But it's the thought process of Jay through my eyes. And it talks about accountability, it talks about value, all of the core things in our relationship that we believe in, it talks about. So it
Mhm.
talks about being transparent, it talks about the value of each other and what it means. It's not really a relationship book as far as boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. It's a
Mhm.
relationship as far as people. We
Right.
talk about the importance of being accountable. We talk about, you know, when it's hard to like a person, how do you still love? So all of that's in there, but it is Jay Claxton's thoughts through my eyes. And
Mhm.
what has gotten us this far.
Wow, that's really deep. And I just know like everybody's journey is different. So it's really great that you're able to just like express that not only through your podcast, but through a book and as well as through each other's eyes. But through all of that, I know that, you're going to be in the media a lot, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the scenes, just really in it a lot. And I know a lot of people sometimes they need like a break or just sometimes like a limit to just everything and kind of being in front of the camera, behind the camera. Like, what does your everyday routine look like outside of your work? Like, whether it's like self care or anything.
So I will tell you that I do not have those options.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's work, 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 work. Jay has the ability to go to the gym and
Mm-hmm.
to be out. If he wants to go grab something to eat, he can do that. I don't
Right.
necessarily have those options, because one, nobody cares about the story. They only care about the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do certain things to make sure that the show continuously runs, right? So do I need self-care? Yes. Do I need an outlet? Yes. Do I have it? Absolutely, I don't have it. But also, here's the thing: in life, you make choices, and you
Mm-hmm.
choose the road that you want to take, and you choose how you take it. At any given moment, I could walk away and say, I'm not doing this any longer. But for me, because we're building a legacy for our kids and we're building a legacy for our family, I sacrifice those things so that he can be able to move and do certain things. But those are the choices that I make. You know, no one puts a gun up to my head. Nobody says, oh, this is what you have to do. This is how it has to do it. Because nobody can tell you how your journey is supposed to go.
Right.
You have to do the things that are best for you and your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And so my job as his partner is to create peace. My job as his partner is to create foundations. My job as his partner is to hold things together. And so that's my role. I know my role and I do it well, you know.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Just with what you were saying, like working with your partner and things like that, and how you said, it's unmuted now. So what was it like before? Because Jay was saying how you just kept saying no, no, no. Like, were you contemplating, or like, what was the reason why you said no? Was it just working with your partner? Was that like a hard decision?
So
She was on our Destiny's Child. No,
we
no,
did
no,
we
no,
did
no.
business. We did business first, right? And so I never contemplated being in love with him. I never contemplated loving him. I never contemplated being with him. We started off in business. So the no's came with I didn't want to work with anybody from the same hometown as I was, because I've never had a great experience and their business ethic is not the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was where the no was. At the relationship side, he contemplated it. He said no, you know, but I never had a question. I've never, from the time that I knew, I never had a question if this was my life partner, if this was my soulmate, if this was the person that I wanted to be with. Because once I realized that he was, I knew it. And I never fought it, whereas though he fought.
Okay. Well, what about you, Jay? Like, what is like your self-care routine outside of work? I know Dr. Cass was saying how you have a little bit more time to just do some workouts and things like that. What is something that you want to tell us about?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, like I'm the runner for real. So, I'm running, I'm moving, I'm gonna make sure she good. I make sure the kid's good. I'm running here, running there. Like I'm the runner. So
Right.
as I'm running, I might run and get 30 minutes into the gym, you know. Um, so for me, I mean that's usually that's the self-care part, you know. I'm running, I may stop in the cigar because I'm really running. Like I'm never I'll burn up a tank of gas in a minute. You know, like I just will. So I'm just kind of running. And that's kind of how that falls out, that falls into place because I am you know, I'm a, I'm moving like I'm just from the time I get up, I'm 9 times out of 10, I am really, really, really moving, you know. So um, cigar, um,
Right.
a cigar. I'm in the studio now, but great bourbon collection in the studio behind me. Smoke a cigar, and I go to the gym, but that is we business never stops. So when we're even if it's let's go grab something to eat, let's go grab something to eat. We are really business never ever 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 stops.
Right. Well, next I want to ask about your OTT streaming platform that you all are currently working on. Could you tell us about like what all that is? Actually explain to our viewers what an OTT streaming platform is for people who don't know, and just what all it has to offer, and just everything coming up with that.
Jay, you muted yourself out.
No, that was on purpose. I was muting until it was time for me to talk. I'm sorry. Um, so this platform will, and then you hop in and where I missed some stuff. Um, will be on Fire Stick, be on Roku. Everybody has a Fire Stick. Everybody, TVs come with Roku.
Mhm.
You know, it will be on Apple TV. It will be on Chromecast. It will be on iOS. It'll be on the Android platform. And basically, just like you see any of these other streaming services, when you put your Fire Stick in and you see these streaming platforms that you can download onto your Fire Stick, this is what our streaming platform will be. The difference
Mhm.
is it's built for us. You know, it's built
Yeah.
for us. It will be by us. Um, you know,
Through us.
huh?
I said through us. You said it's built for us, by us, and I said and through us.
Through us, yeah, yeah, because it sounded like Fubu. That was Fubu's
That's
thing.
why I said and through. That's why I
Yeah,
threw.
that was Fubu's thing. But
I don't want
you know,
Damon Johns to come after us.
yeah, um, you know, but it is we're gonna have a home for, like I said, folks such as yourself, where
Yes.
you can have a podcast. You know, you create a bunch of content. You'll have a home for that. You know,
Mhm.
um, that'll be a channel. It's a music video channel. You'll have that where, you know, everybody is an artist and everybody wants to be seen, and you
Yes.
know, everybody is DJing, everybody's a host, everybody's a star now, you know,
Mhm.
because of social media. So now you have a place to house that, not just on on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. You can house those shows. Also, that platform is missing, where we're giving the new artists or the unsigned artists a platform. We don't. He or she doesn't have a platform anymore. So
Right.
that'll be the platform. That's a channel. We'll have a classic TV channel where, you know, you're going to see maybe Sanford and Son. Maybe you'll see,
Mhm.
you know, Cosby. You'll see some of those shows that you may have watched um, in your journey that means something to you. Throw back for you. It is, you know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be for us, where it's not going to be programmed by somebody that doesn't know the culture, doesn't live the culture,
Mhm.
not from the culture. You know, we're born, bred, raised in the culture. You know,
Yes.
this is what we've lived. This is, you know, we still live it. So we'll offer some things that a lot of other platforms
Oh, no.
won't give. They not
Mhm.
just because they can't. You know, they can't.
Right.
I
I
think
don't
you
love that.
I think you really covered it all. You covered the only thing that I think you didn't say, which I guess we just assume people know it, that our platform will also be on Android, and so if you have an Android or iPhone, also on Chrome book, and probably as after we get going, maybe in the next year or so, because of the cost, probably Xbox
Mhm.
will be the one that we choose, or PlayStation. We'll choose one of the two platforms for it to generate also through. And Jay covered everything. We have multiple channels, so if you are familiar with a Tubi, a Philo, uh, um, Pluto, Netflix, or Hulu, that's exactly what we have. That's exactly what we're creating. What is the blessing and what is the difference in ours? Ours is, as he said, created for us, by us, through us. And we are the only minority couple that is
Yes.
providing this platform for our culture. So Jay likes to be modest, right?
Mhm.
Jay has a very big heart and he's very giving. And one of the things that we have in common, one of the many things, because we have tons of things, like we could go down a laundry list of things that we have in common, but one of the things that we both believe in is to whom much is given, much is required.
Mhm.
And with us, what we do is we always want to give back. Jay's always going to give back to the little homie. He's always going to give back. From the first day I ever met him, he always wanted to help somebody or have somebody in, his studio, or, he always wanted to have interns, or he always wanted to try to help people. So in this case, with this platform, it gives us a larger platform to be, a larger foundation for us to be able to
Mhm.
constantly to the generation that's coming behind us, so that we can show them how to do it the right way, and there is a right way and there is a wrong way, And so with that said, that is our core belief. And because that is our core belief, that's something that he like sticks by heavy, and in everything that we have, the TV, the radio, the magazine, the purpose is so that we can pull back and pull someone else in to something that we're doing.
And for real, just to kind of piggyback on that, I was having some conversations just recently, and the younger version of me wanted to make sure the people I knew were good, but I feel like my generation didn't do what they were supposed to do for the generation behind, when they didn't do what they were supposed to do for your generation, and that's why you are seeing some of the stuff that you're dealing with folks in your age bracket, because we didn't raise them the right way. We were so kind of like worrying about us, we were worrying about us. It wasn't on purpose, but we were worrying about us. So once we realized that, that's when it really started sinking in that we need to give back. We need to give back. Yes. We need to help. We need to give some people a chance. Problem is, sometimes we give these people a chance, and if you didn't have the same work ethic that I had, then it's hard for me to deal. It's hard for us to deal. And because I know the sacrifices I made, I know the sacrifices she made, I know what she did, and if you don't have that kind of mindset, it is very hard for us to deal with you, because I feel like this ain't for you.
Right.
This ain't for you. But you gotta want to be taught, and we don't have a problem with teaching. We just want you to be loyal. We want to be loyal to, we want to be loyal. We want to give back. We are philanthropists as well. So, we want to give back, and, school and sneaker drives, and, book bag drives, and, toy drives. And a lot of times we don't even we wouldn't even tell you. We wouldn't even tell you in the podcast, because it's not necessarily what we're doing it for. We are doing it to help. And I know a lot of people say that we should tell, as part of the narrative, but I don't want to have a bunch of cameras, because it's not authentic, it's not authentic. Right. So I know you didn't ask that, but I apologize.
No, that was really good, and I actually agree with you. Honestly, just me going to an HBCU, like, I really understood more about like just the culture, and like, even though one person can be from over here and the next person can be from so far away, we still have so much in common. It's important to support these, different organizations and programs. And when you all said for us, by us, through us, that is like such a powerful statement to just like outside of just, everyday life, but just to kind of go by in life and knowing to support each other. And like, that's very important. So I 100% agree with that. And I'm grateful for that you all are, starting this business, and I'm 100% supportive of that as well.
Thank you so much.
Yes. My next question would be, I know you all are just, like I said before, in the media a lot, so I know you encounter a lot of celebrities. Could you talk about some of your celebrity relationships? And Jay, I know you were able to interview like Pop Smoke and Nipsey Hussle. What was your relationship like with them?
So you get lessons from everything that happens, right? And that's why she's smiling. You get lessons from everything that happens. And so I don't remember the order. Well, it was Nipsey. Nipsey passed first. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely correct. Right?
So I had to interview him. I'm working for a station, and I had to interview him. Hey, we interviewing Nipsey Hussle. Knew Nipsey was really big on the West Coast. But when we started kind of promoting that, we were interviewing Nipsey at a hotel, and started to see the energy that we were getting. It's like, okay, so maybe I haven't done my job, maybe. So it was for Victory Lap, put Victory Lap in, and I'm listening to Victory Lap as I'm working out and that sort of thing. And I just live with it. And I really felt like I really could tell what kind of man this man was. I could really tell through his music
Mhm.
because you couldn't really fake. It was really authentic. I could really tell. When we sat down to do an actual radio interview, but he also had an interview for the actual room for the
Mhm.
event, right? Put them all on stage, and
Yeah.
that's what they were doing. But my radio interview was just at the radio table, and it was
Mhm.
wasn't on stage. But I've always had great relationships with stand up people, regardless of
Mhm.
and after this interview it was just really authentic. He could hear I meant what I said. I was cut from a certain cloth. I could tell that he was cut from a certain cloth. So even when he finished, he did that interview, and he called a mutual friend of ours who works for that label that he had, they had an agreement with, and she said, "Well, Nipsey wants you guys and me to come with him and have dinner at Ruth Chris." I had a gig that night, which was my actual party, promoter and
Mhm.
DJ, and it was my party. And I'm like, man, it's not gonna go right if I'm not there,
Mhm.
and I can't go, not knowing that I was never gonna have an opportunity to sit down with him because he was a type that would have um it wouldn't have been fake. Regardless if he hadn't seen me in some months, he would have treated me with the same. It would have actually been a lot more love, right? And
Mhm.
I wasn't able, and I felt bad when I got that news. It was a Sunday, and I got that news that he was murdered, and that hit home.
Mhm.
That really hit home. And Pop Smoke was very similar. They were late. He was doing a bunch of interviews, he was on an interview run, and when it got to me, he was supposed to be there at a certain time. They were running behind. My show was actually over. I
Mhm.
stayed at the station. I
I
had some
miss
family
Bella.
obligations. I did not even do the family app, nothing. I stayed, and it was like we instantly clicked. It was almost like I was his big homie from New York forever. He says it, and man, it just felt like I known you forever. And I could just tell, even though he was young, he had a bunch of those guys, young guys under him that looked at him
Yeah.
as the big homie. And I really had family, I need you to be safe.
Mhm.
I said that to him several times. Yo, I need you to be safe. You know what I mean? I need you to be safe. Be careful. I need you, man. I'm good, big homie. And yeah, I got it. And when he got killed, and when I kind of seen the narrative, like I wasn't sure. Like I heard I'm hearing another story. The young lady that was with him set him up, and then I heard that what he posted on social media had the address of the house where he was at. So I don't know which one really was the correct one, but I just he was flying, and I just was be careful. And it's funny. I really Jim Jones says it. Um, Being a rapper is probably the most dangerous job right now.
Mhm.
Um, it, it
Yeah, he did say that. I saw that. I was like, well, yeah, he's right. He's
it's dangerous, especially if you still live in the same city and you're really getting money because somebody feels like it should have been them. They went to school with you. They used to hang out. They played basketball, and they felt like, why was it you? They don't know what work you did. How many
Mhm.
holidays you missed, how many days you went without sleep. They don't know. They just felt like it was for them, and they be the ones. They be the ones. So it really is a dangerous job. I do feel um, worry about a lot of these guys' safety, but they were
Mhm.
they were two very, 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 very stand up
Right.
individuals. They definitely were.
for me, I've worked with a lot of people. I've worked,
Mhm.
both on the production side. Some some of Jay and I's very close friends, uh, are celebrities, right? But
Yeah.
we don't look at them necessarily like that. We look at them as who they are, right?
Yeah.
Um, who would I say? Who would I say? You know what? Um, the I have three people. No, I have two people that I would say, right? One is very close girlfriend of mine. You guys know her as Carly Reed. I know her as Carly Lewis. Really great friend, you know. Um, really, we started off actually working together, um, and then that, turned into a friendship. The other person that I'm gonna say, and Jay probably knows that I'm gonna say this person, it's very near and dear to my heart. And it's really like before she became someone,
Hmm.
we were friends, and that's gonna be Tracy Braxton. Um, she is the older sister of Tony. If you watch Braxton Family Values, she's the one that still lived in Maryland. She's also the one who didn't start her career until later because she chose to have a family. And I would say, for me, that's who I would say were the best. And that's because we developed friendships, very genuine people. The drop of the dime. I'll never forget when Jay and I first transitioned from Maryland to Atlanta. I was really feeling down and, going through some things because of the opportunity that we were actually dealing with. And Jay had to DJ. And I was literally, he's DJing and I'm not really feeling good. But like I said, nobody cares about the story. They only want to see the show. So all of this still has to look a certain
Yeah.
way. And I still have to look like I'm happy, even if I'm hurting inside.
Hmm.
And I'm texting, Jay's DJing and I'm texting Carly. And Jay's on witness. He'll tell you 30 minutes later, like I didn't even know. She was like, "Well, where are you now?" And I told her where I was, and she was like, "Oh," and she kept texting me. 30 minutes later, I looked up and who comes up the steps but her, because she was like, I had to come check on my friend.
Hmm.
So whereas though people think that this person is a certain way, she really isn't. She's a human being, you know, and she's a
Right.
stand-up human being, you know. Um, she'll get mad and tell you how she feel, and then she'll keep it moving. But she's a great human being. Same thing with Tracy. Tracy's a really special person, and actually, when I went through, because I'm divorced, I'm a divorcee. We both are. Um, when I went through my divorce, Tracy was very instrumental in helping me get through that. And she was very instrumental in helping me raise my kids, you know. And for those things, I will always say that those will be my two best experience. And like if you knew my catalog, you'd be like, those two? Because Jay will tell you I've worked with some very amazing people, right? But those are the two genuine people I would say.
Right. That's really great just to be able to have those connections. Just because everybody sees these celebrities on like just the big screen, but able to, connect with them on a level outside of that, because everyone just needs that friend and everyone is someone outside of their work life. So I know that you all have just been through so much together and like able to bring each other, stronger through, all of those experiences. You did mention you all moving over to Atlanta. And I know that was during like COVID, and COVID hit everyone pretty hard. So, how was that transition moving to Atlanta with COVID, and how did that affect your everyday work life?
No, it was tough. It was tough. It was tough, but we got broad shoulders. You know, but it was tough, and it put pressure on us. But we built for it, and we made it through. We actually transitioned because we had a opportunity, a show opportunity, and as we transitioned and we're waiting for checks to come in, we were like, this is not healthy. we don't want to do this. This is not good. It's no privacy. It was cameras in every room
Mm-hmm.
of the house,
Imaginable.
other than the bathroom. Cameras and microphones and
And
all
we
of that
don't know
stuff.
that it wasn't in the bathroom.
Right, and we don't know. And it just wasn't how we wanted to live.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And it wasn't good. And we're going to make sure each other's good before any check, any business, or whatever the case may be. So um, we backed out, but that was part that made it tough because of that. Because of that. So, but we made it happen like we always do. And I actually caught COVID um, during the process. Caught COVID, and it took a toll on her a lot worse than it did me. I might have been down for about 4 days, five, maybe five. The Saturday, I realized I had getting ready for a party. Realized I was like, something don't feel right. But I got in the shower, got dressed, put my smell good on, look, got my was right.
Right.
And we went to the club, and I played and I had a great set actually.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I stopped at 8 p.m. when I stopped, it was like something just sucked everything out of my body.
Wow.
And because she took care of me, she
Mm-hmm.
ended up getting sick. And then 3, 4 days later, I was back to normal. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was back to normal. I don't think she liked that too. She wanted me to be sick with her, but
No, I
I
wanted
was
you to take care of me. That's what I wanted.
right. I was back to normal. But business had to. We still had to move and shake. But the transition was it was tough. But we talk about, and we'll drop a lot on you, and something that we know, and it's tough, but pain is temporary. Regardless of what it is, pain is temporary. I don't care if you're gonna do
Yeah.
pain in a relationship. I don't care if you break your arm. I don't care what it is. That is all temporary. It will subside. It will feel better. You will feel back to normal. So, regardless of what, we knew that we just had to go through. This was just part of the journey that we had to go through. This wasn't the ending place. It just was part of
Mm-hmm.
it. We had to go through it, and we
Right.
went through it, and we persevered.
Wow. You all have been through so much together. And like, I know a lot of people call you all a power couple, but also you're also known for being the couple years as well. So could you give our audience a little bit of like advice, whether it's relationship advice or just advice to our viewers who want to get into a similar field or have like a business that, they're trying to see growth in?
So, do you want advice as us being couplepreneurs, or you want just general advice? Period.
Both.
Okay. So
So you want me to take general, and you want to take
no, actually, I want us both to answer both sides of it.
okay.
Because what I say as a female is going to be different from what you say as a male.
I
Right.
mean, what they are the same principle. So we
You don't know. You can't read my mind.
that's true. It's something
um,
we don't do a lot
so
of. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry, what'd you say, baby?
I'm just saying we don't do a lot of talking with whatever we go through is
Oh,
between
you're talking about the couple side of it?
yeah, it's between us.
You said ladies first. I was getting ready to start. You hold your thoughts.
You know what? And that's funny. I'm looking at Queen Latifah, ladies first, right here over here. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I bet your mom don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-mm.
I said, I bet you she don't know what you're talking about because I started dancing when you said it. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Well, she know who Queen Latifah is.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she
I
don't
know
listen to all the ladies first.
Queen
And you remember well, Moni Love is on the radio, so
Baby, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think
so
so.
all right, so this check her. She was from England, and she ended up rapping. Her and Queen Latifah had a song called Ladies First, real big powerful video.
YouTube
Bunch
it.
of rappers in that video back then.
It
And
is a lesson.
Moni,
It's a cultural lesson.
yeah.
YouTube it.
And Moni's on the radio as we speak. She is She she's a radio personality. So that's it.
Um,
I'm sorry. But
um, so I
look
want to
that up though, Yamar.
I will for sure.
I want to start from the personal side, right? As a person, personal and business, right? There's certain things that if I had one lesson to teach you, right, or to teach whoever's listening, it would be this: if you have to announce yourself when you walk in a room, you walking in the wrong room.
Ooh, I like that.
Because you don't have to announce yourself. Let your works speak for you,
Mhm.
right? I'm going to take two approaches. I'm right this second, I'm talking directly to you as a female in this industry, right?
Mhm.
It is tough, it is hard, but you can do it, right? Because the one thing that no one can take from you, Black, white, Haitian, Asian, I don't care who they are, the one thing that no one can take from you is what you got up here. So if
Mhm.
you feed this every day, we feed our mind. And this is something that Jay didn't tell you. And I didn't start doing this until me and him got together as a couple, right? But every day we feed our minds with positive things. You can go on YouTube. It's Dr. E.T. Thomas, right?
Eric Thomas.
Thomas,
It's
Steve Harvey. There's several things that you can feed your mind with, right? So feed your mind and balance yourself out here first.
Mhm.
Because once you balance yourself out here, I don't care who it is, they can't take it away from you, right? So if you want to be a producer, I challenge you, don't just be a producer. Learn how to write, learn how to shoot, learn how to edit. You be all in one.
Mhm.
Because for us, it is harder, right? He has watched me have to prove myself, and I have a PhD, right? I should never have
Mhm.
to prove myself. He
Right.
has watched us walk in rooms together where people will acknowledge him, and he's like, "You acknowledging me, but you don't even know what she got going on here."
Right.
Right? So what I say to you, because I never announce myself. I don't
Mhm.
have to announce myself because I know who I am. So if
Yeah.
you have to announce yourself, you are in the wrong room, right?
Mhm.
When it comes to business, and this is why he says we have a lot of the same core principles. You treat people how you want to be treated.
Mhm.
And just remember that girl named Karma, baby, honey, she will come and bite you at times that you don't even know, in
Right.
places that you don't know why. So you remember, you treat a person how you want to be treated because you don't want her to come to ever see you. Because she doesn't come when it's convenient. She comes when it's inconvenient, right?
Mhm.
Something that Jay said about our transition that I'll tell you about in business. Always remember that pain is temporary and your shoulders are broad. You can handle anything. And guess what? Tomorrow, you won't have the same issues that you have today. So don't look at the problem. Again, these are things I learned from him. Don't look at the problem, start looking at the solution.
Mhm.
Because if you always worry and stay in the middle of the problem, then you'll never get to your solution. And the last thing I would say from the personal side, and this is something that I say to, I say this to him. I've told you about things that I've learned from him, but one thing that he'll tell you, I always say, I never look behind me. I always look in front of me. When you are driving a car, your rear view mirror is this big.
Right.
But when you're looking in front, your windshield is this big.
Mhm.
Someone said this to us, and it really mimics how I feel. The things that happened back there, I can't do nothing about that. That happened back there. That's in the past. I can nothing I can do about that. I survived that. So I
Mhm.
gotta focus on forward. And I gotta put my best foot forward. And so that's what you do. You wake up every morning, you feed your mind, and you put your best foot forward, and you tell yourself, I want to be the best human being that I know how to be today. And that's all you have, that's all you can do and all you worry about. Work on yourself, make sure that you're good. If I was to say the things that as a couple that we do and how we don't allow the two to mix, our foundation is friendship, our foundation is love, right? So when we're no longer working, we always know where we can come back to, right? But
Mhm.
if you want to venture and do this with your partner, make sure that your partner supports you. Make sure that you are your partner's biggest cheerleader and vice versa, right?
Right.
And understand this. And I don't care if this is in a relationship, is a business relationship, or just in your private life. If I tell you anything, he actually really alluded to it and I stopped him. If I was to tell you anything, relationship is between two people.
Mhm.
Your partner. It is not between you and your girlfriend, you and your homeboy, you and your cousins, you and your mother, your sister, your brother, right? It's between the two of y'all. So the only way anybody can have an opinion, and I'm not going to go into the opinion because I know he will, about your situation is if you give them the fuel, right? You keep that to yourself, because the only person who can fix whatever's going on between you and him, or you and her, or you and them, and you or they, whatever the case may be, is you, right? So remember, whenever you're dealing in any kind of relationship, it is between the two, you and your partner, and you keep it just that way. And trust your partner, trust your partner, trust your partner, trust your partner, and be loyal. And understand this: you should never, I don't care what kind of relationship you are in, you never correct your partner in front of anybody.
Mhm.
You save that for behind closed doors.
Right.
You protect your partner's peace and protect your partner in public. And if you have a disagreement, you save that for the car ride home.
Mhm.
And by all means, always keep that smile on your face. Never allow anybody to see that you guys are having an issue, because that's
Right.
when somebody will try to slide in.
Come
J-
in. Mhm.
JD.
You said a lot, and but you hit a bunch of points. I mean, you hit a bunch of points, and to piggyback on, you know, as far as relationship, you gotta once you give. We do our best to not give our opinions to anybody unless they ask for it, because
Mhm.
trouble comes from that.
Right.
If I see you doing something, Yamar, like, why you wear your pants like that?
Mhm.
You like, so I want to wear my pants. What you talking about, right? And so now it was a conflict, and
Mhm.
that was a conflict. And you look like, yo, why you question my style? You got an issue with my style? Blah,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. I should probably just shut the F up. And then till you ask me, hey, Jay, what do you think about this? Okay, you asked for it now. I don't like the way you wear your pants. It's corny. Yeah, and you should be woman enough to take that because you asked me.
Yeah.
Right.
And you shouldn't have asked.
You in your relationship, try your well, and this is relationship and business. Transparency is key,
Wow.
right? Transparency is key. If she knows that if I don't think I'm wrong, I'm not. If I feel like I ain't wrong, I ain't. I'm not saying sorry. If I'm wrong,
No, literally,
if I'm
yes.
wrong though, if I'm wrong, that was on me. I
Mhm.
apologize. That was on me. That was my fault. That's in that, and that's in business, because in business we may have an issue, but if I'm man enough to tell you, hey, you know what, I messed that one up, I apologize. You might not even like it, but you'll be like, Jay, stand up guy, he 10 toes down. You know, you not necessarily to let it go, but you would you accept it because I was transparent enough to tell you what to man up to my mistake, or
Mhm.
somebody's woman up to their mistake. Um, because that goes in both sides. That goes personal, and that goes business. And the one thing I can say about just personal, I do my best to try to tell her, and she does her best to try to tell me. So your mom doesn't have to tell her what Jay did or said. I already told her, and vice versa. She's already told me, listen, I'm telling you before you get the phone call, I cuss this person out. And,
Mhm.
This is how I said it, and I don't care that
and
I
this
said
is
it.
this
You
is
be
this
mad.
is why this is why I did it. And then we move forward. I mean, it was people that, just to give you an example of kind of how hateful people are, especially people that know you, or you know, in watching you rise. It was conversations that I had with her because we were friends and we were working together. And I might have told her that I had some dealings with this young lady. I told her, dealings with young lady, it was terrible. Sex was terrible. Never talked. I never
Jay.
never did it
I wasn't supposed to say
again.
that.
Right? Then you got Joe Blow, that's supposed to be my guy. Hey, you know he did blah 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 blah. She's like, oh, he's already told me. I already know. So it's part of being transparent as well.
Yes.
You know, it really is. But Cass hit a bunch of points. I mean, relationship is between, and that's in business as well.
Right.
Um, that's in business. That's in personal. It's between two people. Had you know really I had but really this we've had instances this happened recently. I'm not beefing with you over text
Mhm.
message and a text thread that has 10, 11 people. I'm not doing that. You know, let's have a conversation. And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many people don't stand 10 toes down, which makes it a lot easier for you to kind of back off. It's just a lot easier for you to back off because if that's not how you are, you're not going to accept that. And you stand 10
Mhm.
toes down, you're not going to accept that. So,
I
I
want
mean, it's just
to
some
say
things
something
that
real
we
quick.
kind of live by, some things that we do in order to, you know, because this ain't that hard. Life
Mhm.
ain't really that hard. You know, if you be honest, be transparent, treat people how you want to be treated.
Yes.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, apologize when you're wrong, have the hard conversations, you know, when you go through problems. eh, This is pretty easy.
Actually, that's what I wanted to say because we keep talking about transparency, and accountability. But the thing about being transparent is that you have to be transparent when it's hard and when it's easy, you
Mhm.
know. And what I mean by that is in the beginning of our relationship, Jay would try to protect me. So he would be transparent to a fault, right? Not no, to a default. And the default was I'm gonna be transparent unless I think it's gonna hurt her. And one
Mhm.
day in one of our conversations, and I'm pretty sure that he remembers this, I said to him, "Stop protecting me. Tell me what it is, you know.
Mhm.
I appreciate the fact you want to protect me. Tell me what it is, you know, because if you don't tell me, you tell me what it is and let me make my decision.
Right.
If you tell me what it is and I still choose to do X, Y, Z, that's on me. That's not on you. But if you don't give me all of the information, you're unfair. You're being unfair to me, you know.
Mhm.
And so, you know, that's why I said transparent. That the only one thing that I did want to like really jump on is transparency is key, but you had to be transparent to a fault.
Mhm. Yeah, that was very powerful. I just want to say that was helpful to me. I personally value transparency. That's the three jewels that I wear on my head. That one of them represents transparency because I value that not only in my relationship life, but just with everything. Like if you can't be transparent, then that's like gonna block so much in your life. And as well as Dr. Cass, you talked about not only just learning your one skill, but also learning that whole thing. I'm a model, so not only learning how to walk for me, but learning how to take the pictures, learning how to be able to teach what I do is very important. So I just want to say what you all said was very powerful and helpful to me. So I know the audience will be able to take a lot away from that. Um, I do want to ask before we close out, is there any just last minute remarks you want to say? Is there any upcoming projects that you're working on that you want to let us know about?
Uh, definitely in the streaming service. That's big. Um, that's super big. That is the main thing right now. We also need you to support your franchise radio. Just
That
type
show.
franchiseradio.show into
Mhm.
your browser. We need you to support Franchise Magazine. We have some great writers. Um, the team that Cass has put together for the magazine, they are. She doesn't have to micromanage or anything like that. They bring value, and that was something that I didn't get a chance to talk about either. It's about
Yeah.
value, and that's something for you as well. Every relationship has to have some value. If there's no value in the relationship, there is no need. There's
Mhm.
no need. There has to be some value, and you can't be the only one to bring value to the table.
Right.
And if you don't bring value, and if you don't bring value to the table, you can't expect anybody else to keep you
That's
around because
right.
what are we doing it for? I can't get this back.
Right.
Can't. There's only commodity in the world you can't get back. I
Mhm.
mean, I can get your friendship back, I can get money back, I can get cars, I can get relationships back, whatever the case may be. You can't get the time back. So um, don't waste my time. Uh, just don't waste my time.
Right.
And I know I'm supposed to be telling you what we have going on. We have a reality show that we're working on, minding our businesses, which is based out of the ATL. That's not our show, but we are on the show, and we do really love the guys that are putting that together. And am I missing anything, young lady?
Mhm.
I am.
Mhm.
So I said radio station, streaming,
Hat.
magazine,
Your hat.
show.
Your hat. Your
Oh,
hat.
okay. Clothing line. And franchise clothing. That's with no vowels. FRNCHS. It is not French's. I
Yeah.
get people stop me. Hey man, I keep seeing you wearing the Frenches. It's not the Frenches, it's franchise with no vowels.
Yeah.
From the franchise J. Claxton. So
Mhm.
um we have the clothing line, which I've been getting a lot of the spring line will be out shortly. Um, part of our issue is we don't necessarily we're a team of really two, other than just a magazine. We are really a team of two. So that is it's a lot on us, but we have all these things, and we're gonna make it work, and we're gonna keep throwing it at the wall, and we're gonna keep making it stick, and we're gonna keep throwing it to the sticks. It's just it's never failure until you just stop.
Mhm.
Same way in stocks, and I don't know if you're in the stocks, or put it on your phone. You don't
Yeah.
lock. There's never a loss. You don't lock in the loss until you sell.
Mhm.
You don't sell, you didn't lock the loss in. You got an opportunity for it to turn around. You just got to be patient and follow the process.
Right.
So that's my spiel. Dr. CaSay, do you have
Um,
anything you want to say?
the only thing that I would say, Jay really touched on everything that we have going on and everything that is about to happen. The only thing that I would say is that if you decide to venture and do this with someone else, a partner, a significant other, if you decide to do that, make sure that you do it with someone that loves you more than you love yourself. And I've had somebody say, why do you feel like, how can you say that Jay loves you more than he loves himself? Because what I know is no matter what, no matter where I am, if I need something, he's going to stop what he's doing to do it. Right. His questions to me is always this: if he can't answer a call, or if he can't get right to me, and he texts me, the first thing he's gonna say is, "Are you okay?"
Mhm.
See, "Are you okay?" stands for one simple thing: I'm doing something, but if I need to stop, I just need to know that you're okay. If you're okay, I'll wait and call you back.
Mhm.
But I care about you so much that I will stop what I'm doing to get to you. And so I tell people all the time when they ask, about our chemistry, um, chemistry is exactly what it is. You can mix water and anything, But if you mix water and grease, it's going to separate. So you
Mhm.
have to find something that you mix your water with that you can maintain and create as one, you know? And so that's what you have to find. And don't just jump into business with anybody. When we started business, we had non-disclosures between each other, right? Actually, up until January 1st of this year, we still had a non-disclosure, but it expired this year. And if he asked me tomorrow to sign it, I would sign it again because I don't have an issue signing a non-disclosure with him. Do I love him? Yes. Is he my significant other? Yes. Do I have an issue signing a non-disclosure? No, because I have no inkling that I want to do anything to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't have any malice and you're not looking for anything except for the person's success, you don't have an issue with it. You know, Beyonce says it in a song. You got to sign a non-disclosure to be with me. And that's the truth.
The
You,
party you can't even go to a party.
right. You can't go to party. So you really didn't. Like we signed non-disclosure. It's things that he wanted to do that I know about that I don't talk to other people about because we signed out non-disclosure. But then there are things that I talk to people about because we're building them. So find the person that you can build with. Don't go. Now, don't get me wrong. This next statement, I'm going to say this and I'm done, right? Do not be with someone because of looks. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I think this man right here is the finest thing this side of anything. Yeah, I think, I'm telling you, I think he is the most listen, okay? I do, right? But even as good as he looks on his outside, his heart looks even better. I promise you. He dresses his ass off, right? But as good as that face looks, as great as that body looks, his heart looks better. You know, you find somebody that looks good here
Right.
instead of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed. I got both.
Amen. Well, that's great. Thank you all both for your time today.
I mean, he's all muted out. He didn't say thank you.
No, listen, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. That's what we talked about. You gotta have the pom-poms out. You gotta be each other's biggest cheerleader. Thank you so much. And really, we gotta go. I know because we over an hour, right?
Yeah, we gotta go for two reasons. One, because we over an hour, and two, you need to get ready to be coming to get me.
Right. And just remember, because we learned this during the pandemic. If you can take the things that you hate about somebody and be good with it, then that might be somebody you consider to be in a relationship with.
Right.
Because of course, you can be with me if I'm winning. You can be with me for all the good reasons. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. I'm winning. The money's right. Look good. Whatever the case. That's easy. I'm just saying. I'm making examples. I ain't even talking about myself. I'm just talking as an example.
I was talking about you.
I'm saying that that's easy. You're on TV. You producer. There's all of this stuff. It's easy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. But if I can be with you when I don't really necessarily like the thing you do, it's under my skin, and I still love you and still can be with you, that's a person that you consider as, somebody that can be in the running to being your significant other. So I just want to leave that. If you can't deal with the bad stuff, then you might as well get out of there. Because we're wasting each other's time.
Wow. Well, thank you all again.
That's a lot. God damn it, that's a lot.
I'm sorry. I hope we didn't give you too much, Yamara.
No, that was great. I mean, like, it was very helpful for me. And like I said, I know the audience is going to be able to leave with, so much like advice and things like that for themselves and just be able to share. So I want to thank you all for your time today. I hope the rest of your day goes great. And yes, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.